Have you ever wondered why our elders say that curiosity killed the monkey, but a loose mouth destroyed the hunter? Imagine marrying the woman of your dreams, becoming the richest man in the village, but losing it all because you couldn't obey just one simple rule. In the quiet village of Ogbunike lived a humble but poor hunter named Ndubuisi. He barely had enough to eat, but he was known for his kind heart. One evening, while checking his traps deep in the whispering forest, he heard a soft cry. By the banks of the Silver River, he found a breathtakingly beautiful maiden. She wore no jewelry, just a simple white wrapper, and her natural hair was woven into beautiful, intricate braids. Her name was Nnenna. Nnenna had no family and nowhere to go. Ndubuisi took her in, offering her his only spare room. Over the next few months, her gentle spirit completely won his heart. They fell deeply in love. When Ndubuisi asked for her hand in marriage, Nnenna smiled, but her eyes turned very serious. "I will marry you, my love," she said, "but you must promise me one thing. On the night of every new moon, when the sky is completely dark, I must sleep alone. And no matter what you hear, you must never, ever bring a light into my room. If you break this rule, you will lose me forever." Ndubuisi laughed, thinking it was a small price to pay for such a perfect wife. He gave his word. As soon as they got married, Ndubuisi's life changed overnight. His traps suddenly caught the biggest game. When he planted a single yam, he harvested 10. Within 3 years, the poor hunter became the wealthiest man in Ogbunike. They built a massive compound, and Nnenna was loved by everyone for her generosity. Well, almost everyone. Ndubuisi had an older sister named Ugochi. Ugochi was bitter, nosy, and deeply jealous of her brother's sudden wealth. She hated Nnenna and constantly looked for a way to bring her down. During a visit, Ugochi noticed that on the night of the new moon, Ndubuisi slept in the parlor, while Nnenna slept in her locked room. Ugochi cornered her brother. "Are you a fool? No normal woman locks out her husband on a new moon. She's hiding something. People are talking, Ndubuisi. They say she's a water spirit. They say she turns into a giant python at night to vomit the money you are spending. Are you waiting until she swallows you whole?" Ndubuisi tried to brush it off, defending his wife. But the seed of doubt had been planted. The poison was already working. For weeks, Ugochi's words echoed in his head. Every time he looked at his massive compound, he wondered, where did this wealth really come from? The next new moon arrived. The night was pitch black. A heavy silence hung over the village. Ndubuisi lay on his mat in the parlor, staring at the ceiling. From Nnenna's locked room, he heard a strange rhythmic humming sound, followed by the clinking of heavy metals. His heart began to race. What is she doing? Is she really a snake? Is she performing a dark ritual? Unable to control his fear and curiosity, Ndubuisi quietly stood up. His hands trembled as he struck a match and lit a single small candle. He crept toward her door. To his surprise, it wasn't locked. He slowly pushed it open, the candlelight piercing the thick darkness of the room. What he saw made him drop to his knees, not in fear, but in absolute awe. There was no snake. There was no dark ritual. Nnenna was sitting on a woven mat, radiating a soft, glowing light. In her hands, she held threads made of pure moonlight, weaving them into solid gold coins and beautiful, rich fabrics. She wasn't a monster. She was a blessing from the heavens, literally weaving his wealth with her bare hands. But Ndubuisi had broken the rule. The candlelight disrupted the spiritual atmosphere. As Ndubuisi gasped, a single drop of hot wax from his trembling candle fell onto Nnenna's bare shoulder. She gasped in pain. The gold instantly turned to ash. The moonlight threads dissolved. Nnenna looked up at him, tears streaming down her expressive face. Ndubuisi, she cried, her voice echoing with deep sorrow. I gave you my heart and I gave you the wealth of the stars. All I asked for was your trust. But you let the whispers of a jealous outsider destroy our bond. Ndubuisi rushed forward, crying, begging for forgiveness. He tried to hold her, but his hands passed right through her body like mist. The vow is broken, she whispered, her voice fading into the wind. I must return to the river. Right before his eyes, his beautiful wife dissolved into a gentle breeze and vanished through the window. At that exact moment, the massive house began to crack. The beautiful walls turned back into mud. His fine clothes turned into rags. The wealth she had woven for him disappeared entirely, leaving him exactly as he was before they met a poor, lonely hunter. When Ugochi came the next morning, she didn't find a wealthy brother. She found a broken man crying in the dirt, paying the ultimate price for listening to bad advice. The moral of the story? Never let the jealousy of outsiders destroy the peace in your home. Trust is a fragile mirror. Once broken, it can never be perfectly fixed. Thank you for watching. What would you have done? Would you have looked inside the room or kept your promise? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next story.